Hey, good evening, everybody. This is Big Bill coming to you live from my living room in Staten Island, New York. This is Model Railroading Live, the greatest model railroading show on the internet. And why is that? Because I said so. That's why. Anyway, welcome tonight. Tonight we have a special announcement we're going to make. We have some pretty good special guests on tonight. But in a little while, we're going to make a special announcement to the crew. Just going to wait for the room to fill up. We have Linda McGurty and the HTMMRC, Jason Volk, Burton Valley Railroad, Nissy J is here, and Robert Holoman. Robert Holoman will be one of our guests tonight. And just want to thank you. Today is July 12th, 2023 at 9:03 p.m. from Eastern Standard Time. Brad's train just walked into the house. Hey, Brad, welcome aboard. Collecting all the tickets, getting ready to depart from the station as soon as we fill up with some more people. I hope everybody's having Ethan Almridge is in. Ethan A. Okay, he's in the house. Good. Brian Burke, new name for the railroad. Brian, thank you so much for coming in. Greatly appreciated, bro. Like I said, for those guys that are just tuning in a little bit, we're going to make a special announcement. Randy's Rock and Roll Railroad is in the house. We're going to make a special announcement on the MRL channel in a little bit as soon as we get people in the house. And on the train, if we want, let's say on the train. I hope everybody's summer is going well. I am fully into my physical therapy for my left knee that was replaced and getting better and stronger. Went on a diet. Well, a diet for me is like losing weight is like throwing a chair off the Titanic, if you know what I mean. But I had to do it because my sugar went up, so I got to take care of that, and I'm doing a good job of it. And stuff like that. What's the other things that are happening in my little private life? I had a little tragedy. My sister passed away last week. Steve MD 77, welcome, brother. Welcome. You're not late. You're just on time. So that happened. She was 63. I won't burden you with that. But a few other friends of mine that I worked with have gone to the way of the railroad station in the heaven. But happens when you get older. Ralph, did we ever get a hold of Rod Stewart? No, we did not get a hold of Rod Stewart. Thank you, Brad. No, we never did get. We tried valiantly to get him, but apparently to no avail. My connections turned out to be no connections whatsoever. So we never did get him. I wish we would have. But, hey, you never know, you know. Let's see. Everything else. Summer's going along great. You know, hot here in New York City, 90 degrees every day so far. But other than that, it's been pretty good. Jason Volk says, I'm starting to get ready for the STL St. Louis RPM July 28th to the 29th. So if anybody's in the St. Louis area, please head on down there for the RPM meet. And an update on the South Brooklyn Railroad. I haven't started building it yet. I haven't. I took it down in the spare bedroom, which is right over here. But I have the wood and everything, and the plans are on the wall downstairs. But just haven't really kind of gotten to it with the recovery of my knee and everything and stuff like that, and family needs and taking care of business here in the household and, you know, in my church. It's kind of been put on the back burner. Hopefully in September I can start doing something with it, you know. Got to clean the basement out. That's a priority. Thank you, John Train, BFGR, and stuff like that. So I'm glad those guys have just come in a little bit. We're going to make a special announcement on the old MRL channel here. And going forward, we have some guests with us tonight that we are We're going to have on some oldies but goodies from the beginning of when it was YouTube model builders. I'm going to bring on some of the original founding members and people that were involved in it all the way up to now. So Central Jersey Conrail Lenskale, Joseph's in the house. Joe, how are you? Good to hear from you, man. Good to see you. I'm glad you're in. I'm really glad that all you guys are in here. So, stuff like that. Other than that, where are we? Let's get. How many people are watching on YouTube? I don't have I'm streaming from StreamYard here, so I can't see the numbers. If anybody out there can tell me. Good day. Big Bill in chat. Outlaw Railroad. Hey, Outlaw Railroad. How are you? Model Railroading Live. We got 21 people looking. Good. Okay. Few at this time. Jason Folk 21. Good. How are you, Outlaw Railroad? Apparently good day. You're from Australia, I would say. I would assume, and you know what happens when they assume, right? Central Jersey Conrail is awesome. Been following you for years, Steve MD77 said. That's good. Yeah. Joe and I talked yesterday on the telephone for a while, and we were talking about how hard it is to put content together and get it out there for our viewers. So, as you can see, Model Railroading Live hasn't put a show out in a while. About a couple of months ago, I would say. Nothing really substantial. But anyway, CNL Lines is in the house. Hey, there we are. How are you? So, it's 21, 22. Let's see. I'm trying to think. That's hard for me. Can't put two thoughts together, let alone two sentences. So anyway, I guess all you guys out there are taking it easy for the summer, not working on anything on your layouts, enjoying the days out with your families and on the weekends and stuff. A couple of months. What are we in July? We're in August, September. We start. When is the modeling date? Okay, October 15th is the modeling date when we start hibernating into our rooms and basements and stuff like that. CNL Line says, good, and you? I'm doing well, my friend. I'm doing well. Laura, yes, Brother Bill had a name channel from Ron B to this one. Well, good for you. Brian says he's trying to hit the summer train shows. Good. And Lynn McCurdy says he just came in from working on a couple of modules. Good for him. That's great, guys. That's great. Steve MD77 is trying to start a channel on the Silver Creek Railroad and N-scale layout over Donna Pass. Did you start it already, Steve? Because if you had, give me the name of the channel, Silver Creek Railroad, and well, everybody will go out there and subscribe to your channel. Let's do that. Let's all get together and subscribe to Steve's new channel, Silver Creek Railroad. Anyway, hold on for a second, guys. Hold on. Let's see. Just trying to edit videos. No videos yet. Okay. That's Steve. So when Steve, come on, let us know, man, so we'll get you out there. Just texting John. Sorry, just give me a minute. Just trying to get some direction from my director. It's stuff like that. So, like I said earlier, those guys that have come in now, MRL, we have a special announcement to make. We'll be making it soon rather than later. And then we're going to start by bringing in our guests. So anyway, this is, I'm going to start by bringing it in. It's been a while since we've been on the Bob's N Scale Man Cave. Hi, everybody. Hey, Bob, what's up? We're going to make that special announcement is coming up right now. As you know, Model Railroading Live has been on and running for about 9 years now. We started back in June 14th of 2019. And what I'm saying is on this day, July 12th, 2023, will be the last show for MRL. Yes, sir.
We started June of 2014, not 19.
Oh, 2014. And there's my best director in the world.
Yeah, you want to start bringing them in, bring Mike in first.
Yes, we'll do that as soon as. Just so you know, we started June 14th, 2014. I'm getting emotional now. But this will be the last show for Model Railroading Live. As of today, after this show, we will no longer be broadcasting. Who's been talking to? Thursday nights with John on Johnny's Train Talk Show, Railroad Empires, and anything else that has been associated with Model Railroading Live. This decision did not come easy, but we have been non-functional and not producing any content for a while. And in doing so, it's not fair to the community, nor is it basically fair to us. And everybody has a life, and we're really getting involved in it. I can say for myself that this last year or so has been pretty, not rough, but it's been challenging. And because they were, they were moving along and things were changing in my life as well. And since I brought my layout down, it hasn't been really that, enthusiastic for me to do that. Plus, also, there's been, Outlaw Railroad. There was some fun times on the Google Hangouts. There certainly were, and a lot of memories in that. But also been checking out the competition of podcasts, and they're a lot slicker. Got better equipment, better graphics. As you see, I'm shooting from my living room, so don't have the equipment nor the money to get the equipment. So that was a factor. And it also getting guests, on the show has been pretty detrimental. Sending out emails, but people haven't been responding. So, that factored in, and just basically making content. John Belichick, how are you? If you just tuned in, just jumped in, I'm just making the announcement that Model Railroading Live, this will be its last broadcast. We are officially retiring from the podcast and from Johnny's Train Talk shows and the Railroad Empire series and all the others, Mr. Baronic and the Track Planner and stuff like that. Not due to any personal conflicts with anybody on our team. Has nothing to do with that. It's just timing, personal life, personal things going in different directions. And, and like I said earlier, I've been perusing the other broadcast guys out there that are doing it, and they do it a little slicker, a little better with better equipment, and it has not. We don't have, as you see, like I just said earlier. But in doing that, this started out as YouTube Model Builders. And I'd like to bring in now Mike Phillips, better known as Model Man Mike.
Oh, hello, Mike, everybody.
Hey, Mike, what's up?
Not a whole lot. I'm so glad you asked me to come on here. A little disappointed in things kind of going off the rails, but I'm sure that everybody's still going to do just fine.
Yeah. So tell us, what was your motivation for starting YouTube Model Builders?
Oh, man. I guess we could have gone over some of these questions. In a nutshell, it was at the time whenever I got in YouTube to start research, people doing model railroading buildings and structures and stuff. I just didn't find much. And it was kind of frustrating because as I was wanting to sit on the couch and watch other people do stuff, I thought, well, maybe I can get my butt up and try and inspire people to do the same somehow. And the best way to do that was to try and get everybody together in a group. And we did that. We actually, for the people that were, anybody that was on YouTube at the time actually joined in the first YouTube Model Builders Live. If you ever go back and look at some of these people here that haven't seen it, you can see that very first episode. We had several of the people out on YouTube.
10.
Was it 10? Yeah. And excited to be on and have a good time and kind of put all of our resources together to try and see how we could push forward to get YouTube lit up with YouTube channels, building model railroads and structures and stuff like that. And I believe, in my mind, that YouTube Model Builders was a great inspiration for that, and it actually did, in fact, get a lot of other people inspired to start putting up YouTube videos and building stuff and showing off their layouts and stuff. Now, that's not to say that there wasn't good people out there. There were a few people doing stuff, but at the time I was doing it, I couldn't find hardly anybody that was doing structures. And you guys may know I'm kind of a structure kind of guy. I like building the models, And for me, one of the things that I used to do before anything was go out and search. And I wanted to mention something here because overall, probably one of the big things that made me want to, quote unquote, give back, to create videos for other people was a gentleman by the name, I don't know what his name is. I've actually never talked to him, but he had a channel on YouTube called The Art of Modeling. I don't know if it still exists, but he was creating O-scale structures, and I've watched his videos over and over and over and over. And I don't know, just laying on the couch one day, decided that's it. I've got to do something, make a video, do something to get people inspired to start putting up videos. Now, with MRL pushing this through, you're seeing a lot of live streams now, which is just incredible. So that's kind of how I got started, and it was the inspiration by a couple of people that were on YouTube building structures. And I tell you, it was a wonderful ride. I was unable to do it for very long. And fortunately, Bill, the Savior, along with Barry and Johnny, were able to take this over and create a nice vibe for all model railroaders.
Well,
I hope does that answer your
yes,
question?
that absolutely does.
I get a little mouthy, I guess.
No, you were good, Mike. It was your inspirational movement, and we, Barry and I, were part. We weren't really, because if you remember back in the day in YouTube Model Builders, you had set up a criterion to be a YouTube model builder, to be a guest on the show. You had to have at least 500 subscribers to get on YouTube.
I did that?
Yeah, you set that parameter up. You said in order for you to be on because you wanted people who already had videos.
Oh, in the beginning.
The very beginning. So you was, at that time, your wife was stationed with the Army in Germany. And then you got orders to go to, she got orders to go to Seoul, Korea, to which you have Central Jersey Conrail says, many YouTube creators owe so much to Model Man Mike. YouTube Model Builders started a revolution. Thank you,
Yeah.
Mike.
I hear that a lot. Thanks, guys. I appreciate the recognition.
So then you left, and you kind of what we were going to do. So Barry Roger and I got together and asked your permission if we could continue doing it. And we did the first show, right after you left. We didn't know what the heck we were doing. and stuff. But Barry's here. Let's bring Barry in. Here he is, the man, the myth, and the legend.
Hey guys, how you doing?
So we came in, Barry, together, and what did we start to do?
Yeah, we threw together the first episode like in a couple weeks, and then we said, this is what we're going to do. Give us some time, guys. And I think that September we formally started, actually doing the shows with Johnny and everything.
Right. Yeah. And then Johnny was a part of the show.
Yeah.
He was doing a live segment of what became Johnny's Train Talk show on every Thursday.
Oh, yeah.
He was doing it. And then we had other shows that we came off that. We had the Adreno build.
Yeah. Then we had me and Mike did the Model Railroad Tech show.
Yes.
We had the Craftsman show.
Right.
So, and then Ralph, didn't he started like a weathering thing for a while?
Yeah, well, Ralph came in, later on when we, just before we changed the names. He'll explain that. He's here.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. But the biggest accomplishment that Barry and I did was Barry calls me up one day and he says, Bill, I have a friend who has a friend who knows a cousin who knows Miles Hale.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, he does. He goes, yeah. Miles says he'll talk with us on a video chat. So at that time, we were like, this would be great for this will be great for you two model builders. If we can get Miles Hale to come on, we'll be like
legitimate,
legit. We'll be legit, real-time gangsters on Model Railroad. So we get the invite. He gets on with us, and he tells us what he'd like to do. And we were saying, well, would you like to be a part of this? And he was like, absolutely. He says there are some things. At that time, he was working with Trainmaster TV.
Oh, right.
And he said to us, there are some things at Trainmaster TV that I have ideas for that they don't want to work on. I'd like to try it on your thing, on your channel.
Yeah, I remember that,
We were like, yeah, whatever you want to do. And then, if you remember correctly, once we said our goodbyes and we exchanged numbers and email addresses, and he got off the air, me and you started fist pumping in the air.
Yeah.
Like, we got Miles Hale. We got Miles Hale.
And I really hadn't known Miles for that long because I used to go to his Model Railroad University at Amherst.
Right.
And now, wrong side.
Wrong side, buddy. Come on.
Yep.
You had one
Mike
shot.
and I run this now at Amherst every year. We run the 2-day clinics, We took it
Look.
over from Miles when they retired from him and Fran.
See what we spawned here from YouTube Models Builders, MRL.
Yep.
Now he's the head of a whole thing here. We have a conglomerate here. We're taking over the world.
Yes, we do, brother.
It's because he's a smart guy.
Yeah, we're taking.
See, that's why I ain't got no hair, man. It's the brains.
Yeah.
So for some of you guys that just came in behind, you'll see we have Model Man Mike Phillips, Barry Roget. We've made the announcement that MRL will no longer be broadcasting after tonight. That means Who's Big Bill Talking To, Johnny's Train Talk Show, Railroad Empire, and any other show that we've produced or put out there. It's not that for lack of content, it's just life moves on. And, it's just, it is what it is. And, getting content made and life is moving on, and we just got to go with the flow. So we've decided to end it. But we brought these Model Man Mike in and Barry Roget. Model Man Mike was the man who started YouTube Model Builders, to which spawned the rest of this, and we went forward. We didn't really track the idea of what Mike wanted. He wanted other YouTubers to make videos, and then we would, help promote them and broadcast them. We kind of went the opposite way of interviewing those that made the models, that did it, building a layout and stuff like that.
I think y'all did more of that, like in. I'm getting a lot of feedback.
No.
Maybe I'm talking too loud. I think that a lot of that really started happening too. I think with MRL, YouTube model builders, I always foresaw it as just being something to try and push people to make videos, you know?
Yeah, we did. I don't think we did a good job of that.
Oh, you're
Yeah,
lying.
but look at the competition we
You're
have now.
lying.
You know?
I mean, yeah, I mean, you can get out and search for anything on model railroading now. I mean, and there's
Yeah.
so many people now doing live shows, and they're doing a multitude of videos. Some people do weekly videos.
Yeah.
But we've seen a few people slip off too that I really miss, and I can't remember even that young guy that used to be on. I have
Donnie?
not.
Donnie
Donnie.
Dixon?
No, man, I totally forgot about him too. No,
Yeah,
there's,
he actually is
not
writing
Donnie.
a book. Donnie's
Oh.
writing a book on lettering for a Florida railroad. I forget what the name of the railroad is.
See
But he's
that?
a young kid and he's publishing a book.
Yeah,
Well-
there was another guy that was, I believe, on the very first show that we ever did for YouTube Model Builders, and he did in scale. And I remember talking to him a lot before I started putting up my videos.
Ron Bryce?
You know, he's
From Australia?
I can't remember. No, he wasn't Australia. He was just a young kid.
Oh, okay.
I can't. If I think of it, then I'll post it up here. Maybe somebody.
Anyway, so when we started this, Barry and I were the beta testers for YouTube model builders. You know, because you have to remember that Mike was coming live to us from Seoul, Korea, which was 12 noon on his time, and it was like 10, 11 o'clock our time. So he would do the Brakeman 17, Ralph says.
Ah.
Anyway, so we would be the beta testers for the shows just to see how the show went. You know, it wasn't broadcasted live to anybody. It was just like, hey, just give us feedback on what it was. And then afterwards,
a lot of testing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
a lot of testing. And I just went, what happened? There we go. And I'm back. Shane, is that the guy?
Is it? Oh, I think it might be. Yeah.
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 That's what I said.
Is he still doing videos?
That I don't know.
I haven't seen any.
So
I'm
anyway,
sorry.
no, we would do the beta testing and stuff, and just an antidote of questions. We'd stay in chat, and if for us out here in the States, we'd get like 3, 4 in the morning, and I'd say, "Listen, guys, I got to go to bed." And Mike would say, "Wait a minute, I got to show you this. I want to show you.
Wait
this
a minute.
I want to show you something." So then I would go, "Okay," and I'd wait, and then we'd do it. And then the next thing, I would be sitting in this room, and Mike would see the sun rise on the wall. He'd see the sunlight, and he'd say to me, "Bill, is that the sun coming up?" And I'd go, "Yes, it is." And he goes, "Well, it's time for me to eat dinner, so goodbye now." And I'd be like, "What do you mean?
remember that.
Goodbye? Don't
Yeah.
go."
Well,
He'd
as
just
soon
walk
as,
away, and we'd all be up. for
yeah,
all
as soon
hours.
as I see that sun over there, I'd be like, okay, I'm done. I kept
Yeah.
this guy up all night. I've done my job.
I've done his job. But anyway, getting back to the beta testing, we needed somebody to come in and help us with logistics and IT. And even though Barry is very good in IT, we had to bring in Andy Crawford. So let's bring him in.
Oh, Andy, instrumental also.
And wouldn't you figure the guy who never calls out sick and gets the award for never being absent is now absent?
Right.
Oh, did he drop out or something?
I don't know.
Yeah,
Let's-
I wouldn't care if you guys brought everybody in. Yeah, I hate sitting in the green room.
Yeah, why don't we do that, John? Why don't we just bring everybody in?
Johnny said, look at your text, Bill.
Look at my text. There's Andy.
There's Andy.
Look at all
Miles.
these people. Oh, and Miles.
Gina.
Hey, Miles. God, I haven't talked to you in so long.
It's
There's
been a while.
Miles.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, guys, this crew that you see before you, these guys are some of them are the genesis of YouTube model builders, and then later on, after the name change, Model Railroading Live. Gino Sharp was one of the original YouTube model builders. There, wave your hand, Gino. Along with Andy Crawford, who is our IT guy and has helped us. And there's Miles Hale. Miles was brought in. Miles came, like I said earlier, Barry was like, I know somebody that knows a cousin that knows Miles Hale. And we can get Miles on the show, and then we did. But Andy Crawford was also very instrumental in helping us in the beginning of getting us on servers and helping us with the running around with the internet and stuff. So
We
Andy,
do everything ourselves in the early days. I mean, we were running software on computers and a server and a data center that I had in Los Angeles for a while. And we were, now you can buy some software and pay a monthly subscription. They've really mainstreamed this stuff. Made it a lot easier for us too. But
yeah, and then Mr. Baronic, who's in, and John, who just popped in. Mr. Baronic came in afterwards on his track planning stuff and was really helpful when we needed content. Like if I ever was stuck or a guest pulled out, I'd call Mr. Baronic up, Bill, and I'd say, Bill, you think you could come on and just be, help us out? And he would. And he was really instrumental.
We have quite the crew here, Bill.
We do, and these guys were the beginning of what we launched. And
Hi, Fran.
Hey, Fran. And what I personally believe has been a milestone in model railroading. I think we were the first to jumpstart this, where everybody else is now doing it.
Yeah,
I think we were
believe you there, Bill.
I think we were the bedrock and the genesis for a lot of other guys to copy and to be a part of. Here's Fran. Fran is very much a part of Model Railroading Live. And
Hi, Bill.
hey, guys.
I'm just going to jump in and say
Go
something a
ahead.
little off topic here, but Miles, tell Chris I said hey.
Okay.
I'd like to get to the older crowd, but some of the newer guys, we had Ralph Renzetti, a.k.a. the Mudfather, and Robert Holloman came in towards the Model Railroading Live era. And Ralph, just give us your thoughts on how you got involved with us.
I was flipping through YouTube channels and I saw something that caught my eye, and I became a regular after a while. Ended up doing a weathering show for you guys as well. I came in as Model Railroading Live, no, YouTube Model Builders, and then stayed on when you switched over to Model Railroading Live.
Right. Ralph was our, we noticed that Ralph was really good at weathering, so we all got together and said, how many think Ralph should be on the show? And everybody went like, yes. So, Ralph, a.k.a. the Mudfather, give it to him.
And basically, it's you guys that gave me the name. The discussion went around, what can we call them? What can we call them? And everybody was trying to nail it to a mafia name or something, or something Italian. And somebody came up with the Mudfather, and it stuck like mud.
Yeah.
It's cute.
Well, I'll tell you what, I think it's a good name because anyone that can take a locomotive and paint a dent right there at the filler cap and it look real, I think that's a good name for them.
Yeah. And Robert,
Wow.
how did you
And there it is.
That's one of them. That's a blue box.
Seriously.
Add a little bit of detail and weathering, and it looks just as good as the expensive ones.
I just
Probably
have one
looks better than
question.
the real one.
So
What's
Robert,
that, Miles?
Did you put horn hooks or did you put Katie's on it?
Right now, it doesn't have either.
Oh, okay. Be sure and put some Katie's on.
Well, I'm going to tap out the tongue on here so that I can put a KD box on.
Yeah.
Good enough.
so again for the third, Robert. You got the
Hey,
floor.
I know how these things roll around here. I'm just going to stay quiet until the room calms down a little bit. So, I, like just about everybody else on this panel, was searching through YouTube for model railroad content. I was building my first layout, and I came across your first interview with Brian Burke.
Right.
And
Brian should be here.
And that's what got me like, okay, I'm gonna watch a lot more of this content. This is pretty good stuff. And then I found out about and this was back in the YTMB days, by the way. Found out about the Thursday Hangouts and the Google Hangouts thing, and started kind of hanging out and chit chatting, and started doing some of Johnny's shows back in the day, and the rest, as they say, is history.
It's funny how you become a regular after a few shows, eh?
Yeah.
Isn't it great?
It's either that or just showing how desperate we were for put
Yeah.
Well, no.
Oh, it's definitely a both thing. It's definitely a both.
Yeah.
Well,
So,
that's
like,
where everybody recruited from. That's where the recruiting happened, right? I mean,
Well, our criteria was as long as you didn't drool,
yeah. Oh,
and scratch your private parts on air, and we're fully clothed. And
yeah.
these guys all worked out great.
I mean, there's a reason the cameras,
on air.
Well, there was one time, I think Miles might know about it, that I'm on Trainmasters TV topless
Yeah.
from the Fine Scale Model Railroad Expo Kit Bash competition.
Yeah.
There was one rule you told me: no drinking on air.
And no drinking. No drinking. You can put it in a Pepsi can or a bottle of
Dr. Pepper.
Dr.
That's
Pepper.
right.
And you can drink all you want, but
Didn't want smoking either.
no smoking.
No.
Yeah.
Smoking. No smoking. But it was good. We only had one incident, Barry and I, where a guy was like totally undressed and playing grabsy with his girlfriend. But
Oh, yeah, the dude with all the weird hats.
yeah.
Not me though. I only have one word.
No, you only got one.
So Gino, what's you were in the beginning of this. What's your how did you get hooked into this as well?
Yes, sir. Well, I had been out of the hobby for a while and started looking on YouTube for ideas, and ran across Mike's New River Mine Bill, and left a comment on the video, and Mike just happened to reach back out to me and talk to me about he was thinking about getting this this group started, and encouraged me to start, making videos. So I started, recording my structure video. And one thing went.
And they were so great. Yeah. I would sit and watch those. Gino, just so you know, I watch those, man. I was so excited to see people. Yeah, and you would put good stuff up. I learned a lot from you, Gino.
I learned much more from you.
I don't know about that.
It's much
Gino, man. You're the master of road racing.
Oh,
One of the things too, just got reminded. Brian Burke just reminded me. When Brian Burke was on the show, he was going to be a guest on the show. He had told his family that he was going to be, on YouTube Model Builders Live as a guest. So on the day that he was supposed to come on, his mother-in-law, who was living with him at the time, she asked Brian, "Where's the truck?" And Brian was like, "What truck?" And he said, "The TV broadcasting truck." There's supposed to be a TV broadcasting truck out there. And he said, "No, it's not that kind of thing, Mom. It's not going to be on NBC or CBS. It's on the internet." So, everybody was involved in it, family members. I remember interviewing a guy, John, I forgot his last name. He had his kids in the next room. They were young, 7 and 8 years old, and his wife was watching. And I gave a shout out to his kids, and all of a sudden you heard them jump up and start screaming, So it's always been good. Mr. Baranek, how did we rope you into this?
Well, I think out of this crew that's on the screen right now, I think I've got the distinction of being the newest, oldest guy on this broadcast. Okay, because I think I came in last, but I don't think anybody's got me beat at 77 years old. I think
Okay.
I got you beat. Miles, what are you?
You're
I'm
on
77.
mute, buddy.
I'm 77 also.
What month?
April.
I'll have respect for my elders. Okay. So I was fortunate enough to own my own business, and I retired at 56. I've been retired now 21 years, and I started watching. I had designed layouts as just a hobby. It was just something I enjoyed doing. I was going to be an architect when I really wanted to do. Then I found out I wasn't smart enough with math, so I changed the business, and it obviously worked out okay. But I still continue just to draw track plans and just do it for fun. Well, I started watching YouTube videos, and I am watching these kids, and they were kids to me. Everybody's a kid practically. Miles and I can appreciate that. Everybody's a kid to us. And I'm watching these kids build these god awful layouts, terrible track plans. They're spending thousands of dollars, and I'm going, in about a year or 2 years, they're just gonna get out of the hobby because they're gonna get so frustrated with it. And I hated to see that. I didn't want that to happen. So I started deciding to get a hold of, I would see somebody, then I would contact them. I said, hey, I think I can help you. Well, I was giving it away, never thinking that somebody would pay me to do this. And all of a sudden, I started getting besieged with people wanting me to do track plans. So I went to my wife, who was alive at the time, and I says to her, I said, listen, I says, you either got to quit doing this or I got to start charging for it because I'm getting just completely overwhelmed. And my wife says to me, we retired at 56 to do things that I want to do. And she says, I've been married to you for 40 some years. She says, your problem is once you start doing something, you get way too involved in it. So she says, if you want to do that and you want to charge people, that's fine. But the minute you tell me we can't go somewhere because you got to work on some track plans, you're done. So I said, I have no idea if people will pay me. And I get a call from this Bill Duran who says, I'm going from a 4x8 or 10x5 into a bedroom. Can you help me? And I didn't know I had no idea who he was, but I heard his accent, and he knew I lived in Colorado here. So the first, being in sales all my life, you always want to kind of break the, get somebody on to where they like you and that. So I says to Bill, I says, listen, I says, if you ever come out to Colorado, I says, don't rob a bank and talk because you'll never get out of the state. I said, and at first I don't really caught on to it, that, his Brooklyn accent just doesn't, you don't hear it out here very often.
I got an accent. You guys got accents.
I have to admit that Bill and I have become, we've never met. We're going to meet here at some point, but I consider him to be a really, really good friend.
Thank you.
We've done a lot of things together. He's allowed me to get on and do my thing, and I try not to advertise it. People can find me if they want to. Fortunately, here we are, 10 years later, and I'm busier than I ever want to be. Unfortunately, my wife passed away, so this is a good thing for me to do. But I was just telling the guys before the show started, I have now designed track plans in 8 different countries around the world. And I'm ashamed to tell you what I charge, and I won't do that. But Bill has allowed me to, take whatever little knowledge I've got and try to spread it around to people. And I really appreciate it, Bill. I really, really do.
Thank you. You're welcome. Very much to have you aboard. We had some really good shows and some really good insights on track planning as well as operational and stuff like that. So thank you for being part of this. Andrew Gaston says, I'm personally holding Johnny, Bill, and Mike for costing me thousands of dollars and hours in model railroading. LOL. And Ralph Renzetti says, and then there was the heated debates with Andy and I. Yes, there were. We had some really good, it's better than Meet the Press or Face
The rabbit holes.
Yes.
They definitely would take off. You know, is it an expensive hobby? Then that's all they needed. They went off, but it was entertaining. It was very good. And Miles, how did you get involved with us? Barry and I told the story of how we met you, but you know, what was your reason to join this lunatic bunch?
I don't know. I
Good
kind of
enough.
like the idea. I was just looking back. I think I started my videos around 8, maybe a few more years, a year before that, about 8 years ago. So apparently, after you all had already started YouTube, the first group, but then you put my YouTubes on as associated with Model Railroading Live, I believe. Andy did that, I think, and I'm sure that helped some. But I kind of had the same attitude, I think, as Mike did, that I wanted to get information out that I was hoping would be somewhat more factual, realistic, maybe make modelers a little bit better. Going beyond Bachman, shake the box. Let's put it that way.
Right.
Yeah.
There you go.
And, that's pretty much the way my videos have gone. And you and I have talked about it. You know, at a certain point, you kind of begin to run out of ideas for subjects for videos. And I just looked. I'm at 103 videos right now.
Holy crap.
So, you know, I mean, I have to stop and think about what's going on. I know people wonder, well, why doesn't he put a video out every week like he used to? Well, that's hard to do. Mike touched on it. You and I have talked about it several times. It's hard to keep those ideas going and having something new and vibrant and informative week after week after week. That's a tough thing. I tried doing what you all are doing, or once or twice trying to do the live stream on air thing. It's really hard to do here in Kansas City. We have over 40 operating model railroads here in Kansas City, but nobody wants to do YouTube. They all want to go and play with each other's trains and run, and, you know, run with all the forms that work on the real railroad, but they don't want to learn how to run a switcher. They don't want to learn how to run camera. I can't get a crew here, which is really what it takes to make the live stream, I think, work and work well. And so I'm a one-man shop like the rest of us, probably here now. And that's tough. You got to record, then you kind of come back and edit, and then you got to post it up. It's not the same as doing the live streams.
And people don't realize how long that editing process really is.
That's right. This show, this whole network owes a great deal to Johnny for keeping this thing live and running and working. He's done a hell of a job. And I tell you what, it's a job straight from there as well. It's
Hey, Miles.
You notice he's got his camera off. Oh no, it's back on. I was going to say he's blushing. That's why the camera's off.
Yeah. Well, I'll just jump in for a second. I mean, Barry was doing a heck of a lot. He was streaming the Saturday Night Live with him. And Bill, doing all that, and then Barry was getting to where he wasn't having the time really to get back in.
No. He got a girlfriend that's now a wife. Let's set the record straight, okay?
Well, I took it over, but I don't think people realize, but at one point for pretty close to 3 years, we were doing 9 shows a month.
Yeah.
And I streamed every one of those. Well, I've been streaming ever since Barry couldn't do it.
Yeah,
I've
you have.
streamed every show that's on the channel.
Yeah.
Can I say something?
No,
I just wanna-
no.
It's hard to get in here with all you guys to talk about stuff. It's just so active. And I don't know if you remember when we first started doing this stuff, you couldn't get people to talk.
Yeah.
Now you can't shut them up.
Yeah, exactly. But I wanted to say something to Miles because whether he knows it or not, he's a big inspiration for a lot of the stuff that I do, and I share as much as I can to get people over. I think I mentioned it in a lot of my videos that, especially for like DPM stuff, I try to funnel as many people as I can over to Miles. And yeah, I'm telling you, you, sir, are an absolute treasure to the model building. And,
yes, you are.
Second that.
And for anybody that has not ever seen any of his videos, you absolutely are missing out. He's an excellent instructor. Everything he was doing with his classes and stuff, he's always been just so awesome and an inspiration. Miles, I'd like to
does a
thank
very
you.
good job herself.
I thank you.
think
Thank you so much.
Both of them make a very good team.
I look
Yes,
at
they
it
do.
here, and at least 3 of the people on here were students at Model Railroad University at one time. One of them's become an instructor and leader, Barry, and Bill. Of course, we had a great time. And Johnny.
I also was one of your instructors.
Yeah, Ralph's been there as an instructor. Andy's been there. Andy actually played director with me on one show that we broadcast from the Kentucky area. But
That's
yeah,
a fun thing if I was closer to you.
yeah.
If we were all close
I
together,
appreciate
we'd all
it.
be in trouble.
Well, the alcohol and cigarettes would probably present a problem. You're all together.
I'm still trying to get Bill to relocate to Kansas City. I think he needs to come down here.
Yeah, we're thinking about it.
He might have trouble fitting in, though.
Oh no, we'll take care of him. We'll fit him in.
I'm just gonna wear the KC jersey. That's all.
That's right.
Fit right in anywhere.
He's my Mahomes buddy.
Yeah. I was just thinking earlier, we used to do in YouTube Model Builders, when we used to do the Saturday show with the interview, we used to do a live giveaway.
Oh,
we had,
yeah.
Right.
we had
man, I
sponsors.
remember that.
We had
That's how
sponsors.
Robert and I got our bridges.
Yes,
That's correct.
Valley Bridge.
Well, we used to
Yeah, that's how I got like 3 of them.
Did you?
Yeah.
we used to do the giveaway, and in the beginning, we would do the giveaway right up front.
And then
Right
everybody
in
drop
the
off.
beginning, and we'd have like 38 guys watching, and then all of a sudden we do the giveaway, and we went down to 12.
Yeah, that's right.
And Barry
That's
and
right.
we sat around and we were like, Barry calls me up and he says, "I don't think
Save
we
it to
should
the
be
end."
doing the giving to the end."
Yeah.
And that sparked controversy because everybody was like, "Well, how come
When's
you're not
that
doing it
gonna
in the beginning? Why? How
Yeah,
come
when's-
you're not doing it in the beginning?" No, we're gonna wait to the end because now you got to watch the show.
When's the giveaway?
Yeah,
When's that
when's
gonna
the
happen?
giving? When's that gonna happen? So
That's
we used
funny.
to do that, and then what happened with the sponsors was now the sponsors thought they owned the show,
Yeah.
so they started making demands. Until I had to call them up and say, "Listen, if you guys really want to sponsor, I want to see some really nice, expensive cameras and some nice, expensive microphones, and
Yep.
put your name. I'll put your name on the microphone, or put your name on whatever you want." Then all of a sudden it was like, "I don't think we can do this sponsor anymore because it's not really paying off." So I was like, "Okay, no problem."
Well, that
Yeah,
was a big thing. That was a thing that, whenever I first got into it, and I don't mean to interrupt anybody else here, but the fact of the matter is whenever we started YouTube Model Builders, it was a free thing. It was going to be free to everybody.
Yes.
Nobody had to pay for anything, and us as volunteers would do things to put out for the public. And touching back on something else a second ago, what you're saying, Bill, some of the sponsors that would sponsor would start telling me, well, I need a big splash screen anytime you're talking behind you. And I'm like, no, that ain't going to happen. You know, it's and it's like you say, Bill. We started in with that talk about we couldn't do it. We had to keep it free. We weren't going to be paying people because there's no budget, and that was my big thing. I wanted everything free. I'm not going to invite sponsors in on the show to just sell their stuff because that's not what it's about. It's about informed model railroading. But I want to touch on something that you guys were talking about a second ago, which is a lot of people have no idea what it takes to produce a video, build it, produce it, put it up on YouTube takes a long time. It's like 3 times the work trying to video that while you're building it. And so I get a lot of people on my channel leaving message, hey, when are you going to do another video? It's like, you know, it takes a week and a half. Sometimes it's like really working my buns off to do that. And the same with the live shows. It just takes so much work and it can wear you out. And I'm just absolutely amazed at how Bill, Barry, Andy, all you guys just kept on going with this for so long. You know, John too, you know, it's like you were saying, Miles, you know, John did a lot of the background stuff. Andy did it sometime, but man, it's so much work. People don't realize just how much goes into it, you know? So, but
it's
in
also
fact,
the behind the scenes work too, Mike. You know, it's like,
oh, right.
Bill looking for people to have on. I mean, me and Johnny reaching out to sponsors. I was creating the graphics for the sponsors in the beginning. So it's like putting all that together in the slides to show up on the screen.
Oh,
that's
see, and
work
I did
you
that
don't
too.
even notice that, you know.
Yeah, in the very beginning, if you remember, through the first year or so, I mean, I was doing all of the Photoshop, all of the videos. I think actually what happened is I wound up getting you to do it to get some of the load off of me.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah,
some of the promotional videos I was doing, you know, luckily I was living overseas and had a lot of time to do that. But yeah, so it would have been nice to be getting the paycheck, but you know, that's just for people like Miles. You know, he's a pro. You know, but it's all good. I mean, there's just so much work though that goes into this stuff, and I just don't believe that your average model builder is going to really understand that. You know.
Central Jersey Conrail and N-Scale, Joe Desmond says, I absolutely enjoyed working with you all. Doing the live shows with everyone was so much fun. It is a little sad knowing that MRL, U2 Model Builders, will be no more. I will miss you all. And thank you, Joe. You very much contributed
thank you, Joe.
to our to the shows. That's Miles's KC car behind him.
Yeah, I put that as special just for Bill. That's my special message tonight for Bill. Okay.
Yeah, KC.
There's so much love between Denver and Kansas City that I knew that he would really appreciate seeing my car up there.
AKA Chris.
Yeah.
Hey, Bill,
don't
can I
forget
say
one
something
thing, Miles.
to Mike here?
Go Birds.
Because I haven't seen Mike, you know, for years.
It's been a while. Yeah.
How many times, Bill, when you started inviting me on, and here I've got this quote business, how many conversations did you and I have over, do you think this would be okay with Mike? Do you think Mike would
Yes.
We did that a lot of times.
And then there was just one point where I said, after like 5 years, I said, Mike's not here. No more.
Yeah.
That's it. I'm the guy. This is it.
But
Bill just got used to me saying, just handle it. You know,
that just a related story. Mike would go out on the internet and he'd like this, you know, what we're doing now. And he would hear this person speak and he'd say, you know, a guy like you, we need on our show and our staff, you know, why don't you belong to YouTube Model? And he'd bring them on. And after a while, the guy was a wackadoo. He was a total nut job. And I'd get these late night video FaceTime chats from him from Seoul, Korea. You know, Bill, you know that guy we just hired? I said, yeah. He says, you got to fire him. I said, I got to fire him? He goes, yeah, you got to fire him. I said, you hired him? He goes, no, I can't talk to him. He's crazy. I said, oh, so you let me talk to him?
You let another crazy person talk to a crazy person.
Yeah, that's not right. Yep.
They know the language.
That was Mike's hiring and firing policy.
See, I know the extent of Bill's language. There's one word, the big word that he knows.
Me.
Come on, Bill.
Delicatessen.
Delicatessen.
That's the biggest word I know. Hey, and you know what? We can't forget our man Timothy Wayman. Timothy's on here.
There he is.
Due to family, situations, he couldn't come in. But Timmy was a big catalyst too with creating content and stuff with us as well. So a shout out to Tim Wayman, and congratulations on his new home and stuff like that. So
yeah,
thank you,
right.
Tim.
He
for
did
what
get a new home, didn't he?
Yes, he did. So he's putting it all together.
There's one person whose name I want to bring up. He's no longer with us. Jimmy in Michigan.
Jim Ross.
Yeah.
Jim Ross.
Yeah, Jim Ross.
I miss the crap out of Jim. We were talking about Jim just a few days ago, or maybe a week ago in the live chat. I miss the crap out of Jim.
Yeah, I was really sorry to see him go. Yeah, he was a good part of the show and everything when we had him on.
I took the mechanics shop, the pre-built from Woodland Scenics, and redid the signage on it and named it the Eclipse, because in his motorcycle club, his name was Eclipse.
Oh, very nice.
Put that on the railroad several years ago before he passed away. But it's still down there in the city scene.
Nice.
Gino.
Yeah.
I think I'm getting a little feedback. If you're not talking, would you mute your mic, please?
Sounds like keyboard or something like that.
Yeah, you can do it right there on the screen at the bottom of the screen where it says mute. Yeah, there you go. Thank you.
Who was that?
Gino,
Well,
getting some background feedback from him.
The Bob Zenscale Man Cave. Hey, Bob. He says he went to his farewell party he had before he left terra firma. So
That's
gotta
right. He
say-
drove all the way up there for that. I remember that, all the way up to Michigan.
Yeah, that really bothered me, when he left. I was pretty good friends with him, and I really missed having him around.
Yeah.
in any case,
Was it last year? Me and Bob met up at Amherst for the first time. He happened to be there filming and stuff, and then Mike and I were volunteering at the MRH booth because they couldn't get their Chinese or not the Canadian guys less than them to come down. They usually run the booth, so Mike and I did it for the weekend, and we got to meet the Bob and a few other people. Yay, Mark! Yeah, buddy, I miss you.
And they're all coming out of the woodwork tonight.
Oh, I know.
ain't that the truth?
Well, I remember the first time. I can't remember who. Yes, I am Mancavian. The first time I met
It is the way.
somebody on YouTube from the knew me, he said, "I only know you from here up."
Well, the first time Barry and I met, Barry lives in New Jersey, and Barry was going to the Edison train show, and I said, I am too, and he says, yeah, we'll meet up, do lunch. I said, okay. So Barry, we get in there, and Barry calls me up, and I'm walking around. Barry said, I'm over here by the Lionel guy. So I walk up, and Barry was faced away from me. And I walked up behind him, and Barry turns around, and he looks up at me, and he goes, shit, you're big.
Well, the first time I met you face to face, that was kind of my thought too. I was like, damn, now I know why they call him Big Bill.
You should see the picture of me, him, and Mike Dettinger together. I'm like the short little runt of the family.
He's like he's the hobbit in the middle. So, but listen, where is that knucklehead Madeline man, Mike? Where is he? Oh, he's got his grandkids. So he's
Yeah.
Yeah.
He should be
But,
back in a few.
Me personally, I know you guys out there are listening to this show as reminiscing the get together of the old brotherhood here. do apologize if we left you out. If you had any questions, please feel free. But I have to say that it has been my honor and my pleasure to know each and every one of you guys and to be involved with you, whether I met you personally or online and had a relationship with you. It has been, you guys have made my life better personally and everything else. As far as modeling wise, I have gleaned so much information from you guys, and you guys have been nothing but supportive in my model railroading efforts. And just because the show was ending does not mean that our friendship is or our contact with each other is going away, anytime soon. So before you decide to block me and wipe my number out of your cell phone favorites,
that was
take
done
me
3
off
days
your,
ago.
I figured as much with you, Robert. Robert's the only guy I know. I told Robert when I first met him, I said, "Where are you from?" And he says, "Oregon." What was it, Washington or Oregon?
California.
And then he moved upstate to Washington.
Yeah.
I said, "I swear I met you in Brooklyn some point with your freaking attitude," because he was a typical guy in Brooklyn. I was like, okay. But no, it has been.
You're welcome.
I don't know, Bill.
Just because we're
me and you,
here.
with the Brooklyn and the Philly attitude.
Well, we never got into the Phillies and anything because then we would be kicking each other in the ass.
I know.
But just because we're ending here, just want to give that out to you that Discord is still available for nightly chats if you guys want to get out there in the public and stuff like that. So,
Well, Bill, I have to say thank you to you.
Absolutely.
Because I had been eating pizza with a fork and eating it flat on the plate for many years, and now I know the right way is to pick it up and fold it and eat it like that. So without you, wouldn't have happened.
That's it. Miles was on a trip out here to New York City a month or so ago, and he on one of their time when they had free time, he took the Staten Island ferry over to Staten Island, New York, and we had made reservations to a nice restaurant. And when we met Fran and Miles at the ferry, Miles said, "We have to get back because we have to be back by such and such a time with the, to get home, to get to the hotel." So my wife said, "Well, how about we go to a diner?" And I was like, "Okay, a diner. All right. We want to take them to a nice restaurant." So we went to the diner, and Mike's Diner on Richmond Avenue, and we pulled in and got in, and Miles and Fran looked around and said, "This is really a nice diner. Is this a diner or a restaurant?" And I was
25-page menu, I might add.
Yeah. So I said, "Why don't you have diners like this in Missouri?" And Fran goes, "No, we have old boxcars that are diners." So we spent we had spent a beautiful afternoon, beautiful evening, and the rest of the day I came back to the house for coffee, and it was a great thing. But like I said earlier, it's been an honor, having you guys as a part of this team. Everybody, you guys have been inspirational to other modelers as well, and to myself as well. And you guys I have a special friendship with, and we'll continue to stay in touch with you guys for as long as I know. So thank you very much for being a part of this and for inspiring me. That's the Discord chat, and stuff like that. So again, I appreciate all of you guys. I really do. I appreciate all of you guys. Appreciate Mike was the catalyst in it. Mike would say, "Bill, you ought to do this. You got a voice for this. You can do this." And I was like, "No, I can't." And he's like, "Yeah, you can. Don't worry."
Well, Mike does have the radio announcer's voice, so
he does, with that low baritone tone, bass tone. I fell in love with them.
Mike, you got me started on YouTube videos with the New River mining build.
Oh, yeah. You know what? That's an inspiration for a lot of people, I think.
Yeah.
It's a big one, yeah.
Yeah, and then you did the light kit.
Which, yeah, I guess I did. I don't know if I finished. I didn't finish it. I
I don't
had the
think you finished it.
PCBs. Yeah, I had the PCBs built and stuff. It just never went anywhere else with it. That was kind of a cool thing. And
Yeah, I
you know,
was
like,
interested in that.
yeah. As a matter of fact, I think we did a lot of talking about that.
Yes, we did. Yeah.
And it's still. I actually still have it all. I'm still working on it and stuff, but haven't got to the point where I've lit my buildings with it. You know, so
Yeah.
You-
Well,
you
maybe
know-
one day you get back to it.
yeah.
You know, and just acknowledging publicly, I have to say this: Johnny Mitchell has been truly the best. I have to say, friend I've ever had
Yeah.
in regards to this model railroading, because John took over. You know, along with Andy, these guys would cobble together the servers, everything that needed to be done to get us on air. And I have to say that John, when Mr. Murphy would show up and the proverbial would hit the fan,
Boy, he did.
Johnny just went to work. All he would say to me on the phone, he'd text me, he said, just keep talking. Just keep talking. And
And he's good at that. Bill is
and-
great at that. You
that
know.
I am. I can talk Christ off the cross.
Well,
Yeah.
Yeah.
thank
But
you.
but he really was, and Andy was instrumental in getting that late night phone call while we were on air and dropping his knife and fork and running to his office and seeing what's going on. So I really truly appreciate you guys. And Ralph, I absolutely appreciate you, your modeling skills and your teaching skills. And I was fortunate enough to have Ralph model weather one of my trains, and just simply, it's still, I have it on the display case. I didn't pack it away with the rest of the stuff. So when people come in, they're like, who's RR? And I'm like, oh, that's the guy that weathered this whole thing. But I just
He wanted me to put graffiti on this switcher, and I said I don't do graffiti. So I weathered it, and then with a chalk pencil, I put my initials RR,
nice.
one R backwards, and put them back to back, and
just
that's
tagged it.
basically what it is.
Yeah. And the rest of you guys, just tremendously thank you. And really, just thank you. Thank you wholeheartedly. This has been one hell of a ride. And I've gotten to meet a lot of people, you know, great modelers out there, people I've interviewed who stayed friends with and have talked to. And you guys out there in the Q&A, if it wasn't for you, like I always say, I'd be talking to dead air. You guys have always been a catalyst for this show, and we've always done this show for you and wanted to bring the best possible modeling ideas and skills your way. And at this point, I'm going to say it. I'd like to think that YouTube Model Builders / Model Railroading was the catalyst for the rest of the live shows that are out there today.
100% agree with you, Bill.
I'm not.
I
I know. Everybody else who's doing live shows are going, oh no. I'm tooting our horn. I think that when we first came out, there was nothing out there. And
The shows, Bill, the shows prior to YouTube Model Builders were just a vocal. It didn't have the video
Yes.
with it.
Like Scotty Mason and them.
So, and yeah, exactly. So that's where the difference came in, and that's what brought in the audience, was the fact that you were one-on-one with somebody on the screen.
Yeah. Well, Miles Hale, when we first met Miles Hale said to Barry and I at the end of our conversation, he says, guys, I just want to let you know that, Trainmaster TV, you're in their rearview mirror, and they're not too happy about it. And
I remember.
Yeah.
And Barry and I looked at each other and said, well, why was that? He says, because you're doing something they want to do.
And
Model Railroading Live. Yeah.
You have two instructors from Trainmasters TV here tonight.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. So, but they're good as well. I'm not saying they're not. I'm just saying that all you guys out there that do your show every once in a while, you started on ours. You know who you are. You started on ours and branched off to do your own thing. And not one time did you say, hey, shout out to Model Railroading Live, YouTube Model Builders.
Yeah.
For getting me
Well,
started.
And not only that, but if you go and look at these other guys that are doing live shows, which they're actually producing pretty good content. I'm not going to try to knock them down.
Absolutely.
But if you look at their guest lineups, you look at our guest lineups, what you're going to find is they were on YTMB and MRL before they went over to these other shows.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just think
this
there's
was-
so many shows out there that it
Yeah.
became
Got it cropped
you
out.
know, a lot
Yeah.
of people producing content with
Yeah.
only a limited amount of people to provide it.
I mean,
Yeah,
I
I
know for a
think-
fact there's one guy in this panel that's been on other shows too.
Yeah.
Let me say one thing about model railroading and model railroad live and YouTube model makers, the whole bit. This whole hobby to me is about camaraderie. I started off, my hero is Wayne Waslowski, who's now down in Arizona. But I always admired him because he was always available after he did his clinics. He would sit in the lobby and he would talk to anybody and everybody. And I used to have a thing called the poof theory. And the poof theory was about lots of people who had been editors and had written a lot of articles, and they would be invited to come in for conventions. And you'd go in and you'd say, oh, look who's coming. He's going to do a clinic. Or she should be neutral here. And you go into the clinic room and they're not there. And you turn around and talk to Mike or to somebody else. And all of a sudden you look back up and poof, he's there. And he does his clinic. And you clap and you look over at your buddy and you look back up and poof, he's gone. And you never see him again. And I decided early on that that was not going to be what I was going to do, because I wanted to be like Wayne. I wanted to be there before, during, and after to talk to everybody. And I think that's the one thing that we all, whatever there are of us on here right now, what, 9 of us, 10 of us, we all get the camaraderie that we all consider ourselves friends now.
Yep.
I, for one, count everybody on this list as a good friend of mine. I really count everybody that comes to my clinics as friends. And many of them say, oh, I know Miles and Fran. And probably the only thing they've ever done is walk up after the clinic and say hi, but they know me. And I appreciate that. And I think we all appreciate the fact that this screen right here with the 10 of us on it gave us a chance to all get to know each other in a manner in which we never could have done without it.
Exactly.
And to Mike, Phil, to Johnny, and to each and every one of us, we owe a certain allegiance and a certain thank you for bringing us all together and making our circle of friendship larger, better, and enriched. And I hope that all of us continue to put out some knowledge and some communication to a lot of people and bring people into this hobby. The hobby is very small, but we need to keep everybody in it that we can and keep everybody doing and enjoying and getting to know everybody, and just spread the word that, hey, this hobby is great to be a part of and you need to be in it with all of us. But anyway, I greatly appreciate everybody's effort, and I greatly appreciate the fact that I got to be a part of all this.
Thank
That's
you.
awesome, Miles.
Thank
Same
you.
here, Miles.
Very good,
Yeah.
Miles.
Yeah.
Very good.
Well, I know going up to Amherst all those years with Mike and taking your clinics and getting involved and coming up to you and talking to you and spending hours after the show eating together or whatever, and then came to the point when you wanted to retire, you asked me and Mike to do it for you, and we're still doing it today. And I so greatly appreciate you presenting that to us to allow us to take on the mantle that you created and to continue teaching those clinics at Amherst every year. It's meant a lot to me. It's meant a lot to Mike.
Now,
And
you
all
guys
of you-
know that's not me, Mike, right? I mean,
Right.
you might mention that.
That's Mr. Dettinger.
Because I'm too lazy to do something like that. But
No, trust me. Every year, me and Mike have to do what Miles and Fran used to do and plan the clinics and get, people to. This is even more than getting people to create a video or whatever. It's getting like a dozen people to show up at the same time at the same place and teach something.
Yeah.
And
Especially my son.
yeah,
yeah, Miles.
If you ever want to experience what those two guys just talked about, have Dave Trussell, who was the financier for the Greeley Museum over there, come to me and says, we're going to hold a convention, a regional NMRA convention in Greeley for the grand opening of the museum, and you're going to run the train show.
Yeah.
Nice.
He says, I never run a train show in my life. He says, yeah, but you ran your own business. It's not can't be that much different. He says,
Right.
Right.
It worked out. We had a successful train show, and of course, the grand opening was a major success on that. But what Miles was saying, this is just my perspective on that. We all enjoy helping people. What I get the most pleasure out of it is two things. One, when I send somebody a track plan, a scheme at the very early start of the design, the comment I get back so many times is, I would have never thought of doing it that way. That was the common thing that people would say to me there. And then more important than that is when I see these layouts that I design get built, and they send me pictures while they're building them. That's a huge satisfaction, because at least you know you've helped somebody.
That's
That's what we're all trying to do here.
yeah. That was our main idea and our main goal in starting with this. So, you know,
I mean, that's why I love having like hands-on clinics to do, because
No.
you know, you get to see the people build what you've taught them. You know, 3 or 4 years ago, Mike and I did a N-scale T-track clinic, and 40 people walked out with a single T-track module with structures on them and everything, all landscaped, and they got to display them at the show and run them. And we still want to do that again someday, but the feeling that everybody accomplished that and we were able to help them, it makes me feel wonderful. You know, and I enjoy imparting that to other people. So we're always looking to do stuff like that.
I will tell you. Okay, go ahead.
I can tell you, as a guy from the other side of that coin, Barry, it is the most amazing feeling in the world to go into a guy's clinic, especially if you know the guy doing the clinic,
right,
and him teaching you face to face how he does things, and being able to walk out with a little bungalow shed thing that's, you know, got details on the side of it that you did the work, but he taught you face to face. That is just the coolest thing. I still have both of mine from 2018, by the way.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I know I always had a fear as a modeler of doing water. So I went to a fine scale expo one time, and I learned from Dave Frary himself. And that was just like, I still have that module sitting around. And now I did a module for people to build at Amherst one year, and I used the techniques that he learned and taught me. So I just passing it forward now.
Yep.
And I'm going to do some stuff this year showing people how to use Google SketchUp to draw buildings so they can either 3D print them or cut them on a Cricut or a laser cutter. So I want to share that information because I've been building stuff with my Cricut now. So it's really fun for me to come up with those ideas and share them with people. And I do a lot of clinics at NMRA meets and everything. So I love doing that.
Yeah, I will. We're going to close now this, but I will tell you my.
Do we have to?
Well, we can stay on afterwards the show and continue.
Well, how many people are in the chat?
23.
I have no idea how many's in chat, but we got 23 right now. It was up to about 25 watching live.
Just keep going. I don't have a problem.
Why not?
Yeah, I have a one story of me being famous on YouTube. Every month the transit authority guys go for the retired transit lunch, and at this one diner out here in Staten Island. And I happened to go, and we were sitting down at the table. There must have been about 12 of us. And some guy's leaving, and he walks up to the table, and he says, "Excuse me, I don't mean to interrupt your lunch, but are you Big Bill from Who's Big Bill Talking To?" And I said, yes, I am. And he said, I watch your show all the time. He says, I have an N scale myself, but I watch your show and I watch the channel with the rest of you guys. I was like, oh, thanks. I appreciate that. and Joe Restucci was sitting next to me, and the guy leaves, and Joe turns to me and he goes, "Oh, you're famous." I said, "It's YouTube." He goes, "Good, because you're picking up the tab now."
Tag, you're it.
So that was it.
Bill?
Yeah.
I'm getting a voice from behind me, so I'm afraid I'm going to have to sign off. But y'all are great. I appreciate it.
It's good
Thank
seeing
you,
you, Miles.
Miles. Thank you.
Miles, you take care, buddy.
Be well,
Good
be
luck.
safe.
Have a good one, Miles. Fran.
See you later. Bye, Fran.
Hey, Bill.
I think
Yes.
I've got
Bill.
a fairly
Bill.
good handle on YouTube and how it affects things. I have a 25 question questionnaire that everybody has to fill out for me before I start doing any kind of design work. One of the first questions on there is, how'd you find me? 70% of the answers are watching YouTube videos.
Nice.
70%.
So that's a
So-
good success story, Bill.
That's a hell of a success story.
Bill. Big Bill.
Yes, sir.
Since we got a little room, you want to text Joe, see if he wants to pop in a minute.
Joe Desmond?
Yeah.
Sure, I'll text him. I'll email him.
He said he's still on.
Okay.
How many people can this room hold, Johnny?
10.
One more. No, two more.
Why don't you see if Tim wants to jump on, then I can jump off. I got to eat dinner anyway.
Yeah, I'm gonna eat dinner too, because I live in the West here. We eat at a different time.
Yeah, we've had our dinner.
Yeah, I know, that's right. Hey, Mike, it was really nice seeing you. This was great.
Oh, you too, Bill.
I haven't seen you for a long, but you started this, and I kind of ended up just tagging along.
Yeah, you got in the fold, and I think
got
it's
in the
done you
fold.
well.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Blame the guy up in the upper right-hand corner. It's his fault.
yeah, yeah.
Nice to see all you guys. It was
you
a
too,
fun
Bill.
ride. It really was a fun ride.
Yes, it was.
Hey,
Billy,
Bill.
you got my phone number. You know how to get a hold of me.
Yes, sir.
All right.
All right, take care. Bill.
Guys,
Take
thank
care.
you very much.
Have a good one.
See you, Bill.
See you, Bill.
Bye.
Bill,
Well,
I'm sorry, Ralph. I'm
Go
gonna
ahead.
interrupt.
Go ahead.
I'm gonna take a quick break. I'll be right back.
Okay. Since you're all telling stories, I
we
came
got
in
'em.
here and Barry, I won that bridge.
Yeah.
The following week, I won the weathering decals. The
Oh, right. Yeah. Yeah.
I forget the name of the Detail Associates or something like that. And I thought, this is really classic. I'm winning the decals of the rust that I put on with a paintbrush.
That's funny.
Hey,
And
Joe,
it was-
if Joe Desmond's out there and Timothy Waitman, I sent an email to you with the link.
Tim
So
just
that-
said he's got to get ready.
It
for
was
bed.
after that I became a regular. And
Yeah. I just can't remember how many copies of that bridge we gave away. Central Valley Model Works was really good to the show.
Yeah, he
providing us
was.
with stuff.
He was.
Yeah. I've got 3 of them.
and I got one.
I have 2 that are still in the package, haven't even been opened yet.
There he
There's
is,
Mr.
Joseph
Desmond.
Desmond.
What's up, guys? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got you.
Thanks for inviting me. Somebody forgot to send me a link last night.
Yes, that would be me.
But my phone is like on 10% because it's the end of the night. I've been putting the girls to bed. But guys, I can't stress how much I appreciate working with all of you. Barry, I haven't seen you in so long since we did our
I
first
know.
shows together. And Bill, for anybody who's out there watching this, Bill had emailed me. I don't remember what the date was, but he emailed me, and my email, I never checked it. And then Bill always had this thing where he said, "Well, I'll send you 2 emails, and if they don't respond, then I'm writing you off." So in a panic, I said, "Oh my God, this guy wants me to come on." And I responded back to him. I said, "Hey, is it too late?" And Bill's like, "It's never too late. Come on." And that started a big thing. And we did the show that I sat down on YouTube, Model Builders, and we did the interview with Bill. And then I said to him after the show, I said, "Hey, I wouldn't mind doing something and helping you guys out and creating some content." And he said, "Are you sure about that?" And it kind of started the whole thing. And we did the Locomotive Shop series. And
yeah.
it was great. I mean, yeah. So I think the whole time that I did with the YouTube Model Builders and then going into Model Railroading Live, it was a great experience. I got to meet some incredible people like Mr. Baronic, Ralph, and even Mr. Crawford, who's up there on the top left and on my screen. So it was what an experience, what a wild ride. And I thank you all. And the guy who keeps popping in and out, and everybody, I have to stress this enough that if you're watching this, is over all the years, is that Johnny is always in the background. He's always in our ears telling us what to say and what not to say, or, hey, this person's got a question. But really, that man up there made all of this look so good. And
he's the Wizard of Oz.
And John, I
behind the curtain.
Behind the curtain, right? And John, I have to thank you for all of your hard work that you ever did for this whole channel, because you made a lot of magic happen, buddy.
Yeah,
you are the man.
Thank you. I will admit I did have my fun though. You're right in the middle of a show one time, and nobody can see from the shoulder down. And since they can't hear me, I'm going, "Joe, your fly's open." And I can see them sitting there trying to look down.
But everybody, I'm thank you for having me come in and just like say a brief few words at the end.
Oh,
and
no.
I gotta cut short because I just got the 10% warning on my battery, so I know my camera's gonna cut out. So because I've been watching you guys all for the last hour and a half, and thank you very much, everybody, for everything. I'm gonna miss this whole experience. I really am.
Well, thank you,
Joe, for coming in, Joe.
you, man.
We're doing the shows.
I'm sorry, Johnny. What was
I said, thank you for doing the shows.
Oh,
yeah.
man.
Absolutely.
Everybody, I had so much fun producing that content and watching it all, even year or two later, watching it again. It looks great. I love watching them. I was going through the playlist a couple of days ago, just watching the old shows we did. It was so much fun. So I thank you all for everything. I'm going to miss this whole thing.
Absolutely. You
Keep in touch, though.
Oh, I always will. All right, guys.
Be well,
you very
be
much.
safe, be
See you,
blessed.
Joe. Take care.
Have a good night.
Good to see you, Joe.
All right, bye.
Gino said he's having connection problems.
Yeah.
That's why he's out.
Dude Leonard just jumped in the chat.
Oh, wow.
Hey, dude, how you doing?
Dude Leonard, what's up, brother? How you feeling?
Dude, I'd love to see you. I'd love to catch up with Dude for a minute. I ain't seen him in a long time either.
Yeah.
What's he doing in the chat?
I
got the link.
I don't have an email for him.
Guys, Gino won't be able to get back on, but he says to tell everyone it's truly a pleasure to be part of this group. Thanks to all of you.
Thank him as well.
I
He's
will.
in Alabama.
Yeah.
Hauled the
Yes.
on a bucket on the back of a horse or something. In Kentucky.
Yeah, he's about 10 minutes away from Talladega.
Oh.
Because when I stopped down there to see him, we rented an Airbnb tiny home that was literally right next to the track.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Mr. Dude Lindler. This has just been the craziest ride, hasn't it, Bill?
Sure has, brother.
It has.
Yeah.
When I started doing that weathering show, everything was going great, and then I ended up with a back problem, and I can't even lean over the workbench under a camera. I have to work close to my chest, and it's hard to get a camera there.
Yeah, it's not easy there.
How is your back?
It takes me about 2 hours to get mobile in the morning.
Ah,
I fractured 2 vertebrae in my lower back.
Oh,
oh,
that's not good.
No. So I sit here at this workbench here, and like I say, I have to have things basically on my chest. So, and I'm looking down this close. But
Do you
to
ever-
have my arms stretched out is where it starts to hurt.
You ever think about having like a standing desk where you can rest your arms on the desk and work?
It's the greatest thing
tried-
I ever bought. This standing desk is the greatest thing I ever bought. All expensive monitors. The $200 standing desk is.
I have a standing desk. I just don't have the room to put it in.
Ah, okay.
My workbench used to be underneath the layout, but I managed to snafu this area here in the laundry room, just outside of the layout room. So I built a new workbench.
CNL Line says, good night. It's all been fun. I wish you all the best. And you as well, my friend. Be well.
See you,
Be
Curtis.
safe.
Been a long time
Absolutely.
since I caught up with you either, Curtis.
Yeah,
Up in the Discord sometime, though. We're in there sometime. Good to catch up with you or any of you guys.
Yeah,
Yeah, Tim
Still
said
under
he's
the
on
same
his
name.
way.
not a railroading line.
Yeah,
This is
I
the
posted
last
the
one.
link a few times.
The Discord?
Yeah.
How do I get back to that?
Bill, why don't you send him an invite
Or just send a.
from Discord? You've got his email address. You can send it from Discord, I think.
Or you can send me an email with the link.
Yeah, I'll send you a link to it. No worries.
Yeah, send me
Alright.
one too, Andy.
Not a problem.
We'll get over there
So
and I'll keep Bill up all night.
No.
Since
We're
Bill took
wise
his
to you,
layout
sucker.
down, he only pops in occasionally.
We're wise to your tricks.
I go to bed early now.
Yeah,
Sure
I should
you
be.
do.
In be- I usually away in bed by this time of day.
No, I go to bed early.
Yeah, I'm out of the house by 6:30, 7 o'clock.
I got to get up early for physical therapy. So,
Oh yeah, how's the knee doing, Bill?
Man, there's Dude Lender. Can you get Dude Lender in here?
Yeah.
Man, Dude.
Hey, there's Tim coming in.
Dude
for
Lender.
you guys who are on the Q&A, by all means, you can, stay, be part of the chat, or you can leave. Your call.
Yeah.
And if you do leave, you take care, be well, be safe, and be blessed. And I'll see you guys on the radio.
Yeah.
And if
there you
anybody,
go.
and if anybody out there is looking to hire somebody to monitor their shows or you need a talking head, I'm your guy.
Yeah, I can vouch.
I'm your guy. I'm not that bad either. I only charge $25 per episode. So.
Well, at least your camera's a little higher now, Bill, so we don't have to count your nose hairs.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
John Train BFGR. So long, farewell, goodbye. You will be missed. Thank you for joining us, John. Thank
Yes,
you.
absolutely. This was quite the pleasure, my
Yeah.
friends.
I agree.
And one of these days, Barry, I'm gonna send you a message and say that I'm ready to do a clinic again.
All right.
Excuse me.
Absolutely.
Roberto Valley Railroad says thanks to all. It's truly been a pleasure. Take care. You take care.
Dude
as
says
well.
send him a link.
Yeah, but who's got his email?
What's
got
your
his
email, dude? Put it in the chat. Johnny will get you a link.
Put it in the chat for everybody to see.
You know, I
Wait,
forgot.
Andy would have to do that because right now I can't get email going when I got all this going.
Oh,
You know who I forgot? We should have invited Troy.
Oh, yeah. It's been a long time since I caught up with Troy either.
Yeah, I didn't have any way of getting hold of him.
yeah.
I
A lot of
think
these
that's got
guys
to
have
be-
just kind of dropped out. They've just kind of disappeared. I guess either got out of the hobby or. But,
Well, Troy kept changing scales.
He's in his third scale change now, moving
Nice.
to 0830.
What's he doing now?
Last time I seen him, probably pre-pandemic, so that's been a moment. He was taking the HO3 down and changing to ON30 actually.
Oh, okay. He's doing like
There's
I am.
Timothy.
man.
Mr. Wayman.
What's up, Timothy?
Anybody got Dude's email?
I can't find it.
I might have it.
I'm gonna.
Let me see.
If you do, let me send it to me. But I'm just gonna post my email. Let people,
Well, I got 2 different ones for him. You could try lindler56@gmail.com.
Well, what you can do is copy and paste the URL
The link
at the top of
in
it
both of them.
and send it to both of them.
that's my email. And honestly,
Oh, okay.
guys, anybody in the chat watching, email me. I
Let's
get
see.
so much email at my company email anyway that kind of out of control. So
All right, I'll send that off
How
to
you
you.
doing, Tim? Can you hear me?
and Mike, email me. I don't know. I can't find yours. I found Barry's, but I can't find your email. It's been so long since we
Mine?
were on an email. Yeah, it's been so long since we were even on an email chain
All right.
together.
Oh, okay.
If you'll email me, I posted it in the chat down there. Just if you want to
Can you hear
email
me,
me, I'll
Johnny?
keep you a link to Discord.
Now you'll have to check your mic settings. You're not on the headset mic.
Yeah, I'm on the webcam, one of my webcam mics now because my
Okay.
headset is not picking up the headset.
Anyway, you move a little bit closer to that.
Yeah, let's see here. That better?
Yeah, a little bit better. Yeah.
All right, Barry, I sent it.
All right.
I have one here too for Dude, but I don't know how. Dude, you just need to post yours in the chat. I have one that says I think it's lender_dude. Is that it?
That's another one. I have lindler56@gmail.
Well, I posted my email in the chat, dude, in the YouTube chat. Dude, if you'll email me, I'll send you a link to this right now. And I'll send you a link to our Discord too. But just email
right.
me real quick. I'll watch for it.
Are we still
Yeah,
recording?
Yes, we are.
Yep.
Oh, we
We're
probably
still
ought
on.
not be doing that over the air.
You think?
I don't care about
Yeah.
sending my email out. Mine's a company email. It's published on the internet anyway. That's why I volunteered mine. It doesn't. It's fine.
Well,
I
if
ain't
you want
gone
to
so
come
long,
in,
my
dude,
audio's all messed up.
if you want to come in, man, I don't know if you want to post your email address there or whatever. I mean,
Well, I did send him an email with a copy of the link to his one address, so maybe he'll get it in a minute.
yeah, the last time, Dude, actually, the time before, Dude wanted to beat me up. I guess I poked him with a stick too hard a lot of times. So, and we get a little sideways sometimes, but he's passionate, you know. But man, what a good guy, though, you know.
Oh, yeah.
He would jump in, but he's packing for a trip in the morning. It's great to see everyone again. Good night.
Yeah, that's
Good night to
Bob.
you too.
Good night,
That's
Oh,
Bob.
the
Bob.
Bob. The Bob. I'm sorry.
That's not Dude.
Well,
How
have a
come the
safe
Bob's
trip.
not coming in?
Have a safe trip, brother.
Yeah.
Hey,
Have a good one,
DeBob, you're still doing your YouTube channel. You're doing live shows and stuff, huh? Yeah, he's probably already gone.
Yeah, Mike,
Bob?
that guy you were thinking of, the N scaler, Breakman 17, is Shane Mason.
Shane Mason, that's it. That's it. Is he still around?
He is.
Is he?
He's writing columns for what's his name? Cook. The Model Railroad News.
It's kind of quite funny with him that whenever I think I put out 1 or 2 videos and he looked at them, and then he wrote me an email saying, "Hey, you're talking really too slow. You got to speed things up a whole lot." And I was just thinking, well, that's impossible. It's like driving a Volkswagen at Ferrari speeds. I don't have the capacity to, and I told him that, and it was just so funny to have him critiquing me.
You could have told him the truth, Mike. You don't think that fast.
Well, actually, yeah, it's the truth. I mean, I got to take notes a lot of times, but he in his videos, literally, and I watched all of the videos, I would have to rewind, to try capture what he's saying or doing or whatever. And then there was the other guy, I can't remember his buddy. Man, you know what? It sucks not, being able to
What
remember
happened?
people's
It's old days.
DCC Train. Was
Oh
the channel.
yeah.
And he's a real live engineer that used to do this stuff, which was pretty cool.
The crazy Russian guy, he still does regular videos all the time. He's pretty close to me too. I've been to his shop once, but like years ago when I first started watching you guys, I went by his shop.
Crazy Russian guy. He
Yeah,
doesn't
he
do
is.
model railroading.
No,
Oh,
he used
yeah.
to sell the electronics.
Oh,
Yeah, the DCC Trades guys he calls himself the crazy Russian, blah blah blah, and he's
I think we had him on once.
who is Tony Cook they're talking about here? Who is
He's
that,
doing
Jason?
Model Railroad News. He's
Oh.
the editor of Model Railroad News, Tony
Oh.
Cook.
Okay.
I've never even heard of that. What is that?
It's a monthly publication that comes out with all news about model railroading.
Huh.
All the
It's strictly news.
manufacturers, ads, and so on. All that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Sort of like a
See, that-
clearinghouse.
That's the first time I've heard of it too. So
Really?
yeah,
It's been around for a bunch of years.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But Barry, you're a reader, right? You read a lot.
Yeah.
I don't get a single model railroad magazine at all.
I don't,
I don't
right
even-
now either. I mean, I had for a while had subscribed to the Narragansett Gazette because I'm working on an idea for an ON30 layout out my garage, but life kind of got in the way for a while, so
Doesn't it always?
I'm planning to resubscribe.
And jobs
Yeah.
get in the way.
Yeah.
Jobs.
Well,
What is that?
Yeah, if you have a job, it gets in the way of your model railroading hobby.
Yeah.
You know?
What's a job?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You old man, you
the
retired
deal.
up there.
But then
keeps
you know you
doing
gotta have a
this.
job. You gotta have a job to pay for it.
Yeah, really.
So it's catch-22, you know.
I just got finished paying off the bill for the South Brooklyn Railroad. That's no longer here.
Oof.
Really?
Yeah.
Paying
The
off
last-
the bill. What are you saying?
The credit card. Paid off the credit card.
Are you kidding me?
You had a mortgage on your railroad?
I had a mortgage.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like playing Monopoly, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's getting that government financing.
I was lucky for a bunch of years. I had a 2012 Kia Soul with a gas rebate because they screwed up the mileage on it. That funded a lot of my buying habits for a bunch of years. It when Walters released the limited edition PRR Metroliner set, it was
Yeah.
$1,200. Kia paid for that. I used to
guess
save
dude's
that
still
up
trying
all
to-
year and go shopping at Amherst with it.
Dude's still trying to get in.
Yeah,
He's
he
trying to
says
get
his
his weapon.
camera's upside
Yeah,
down.
it's upside down. But that's probably him. He's probably standing on his head.
He thinks he's in Australia.
There you go.
Hey,
Oh,
Ralph.
I can do that.
Nice.
Ralph,
Fat
last night
Harry.
I was watching Smithsonian Institute channel, and my wife and I were watching it, and they did the cross-continental Canadian National Train with the
Yeah, okay.
with the sleeper car, the observation
Yep.
and dining from the West Coast all the way to Toronto. So my wife in the middle of it says, that's something we should do. And I was like, yeah. So then the guy this was 2019 when the show was aired, and he was doing the whole 9 yards, talking to the engineers, to the conductors, the chefs, the people that work on the train.
Yeah.
He was talking about the country, what you see. And so my wife said, we should do that. I said, I'll do it. Then the guy gets on and he goes, if you want to sleep in a personal sleeper car, it'll cost you $5,000 per person.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, man.
And if you want to go through the mountains, which you do, but if you go on the transcontinental train, you go through at night. If you want to see the mountains during the daytime, you have to get off in Alberta and take the what the hell do they call it now? Oh shit. Pardon me. There's another train that runs up the north or the west coast of the country as well, but it goes through during the daytime. So if you want to see it, it's not cheap.
I was thinking
cheap.
about doing that, but with my wife, and it's like,
It was interesting. I mean, I thought it was really cool because the guy, then when they got out through the Rockies, they were in Saskatchewan, prairie land.
Yeah.
It was interesting. It was really nice.
And as you get back into Ontario, it gets into very rough terrain again.
Yes, that's what they said about when they went through the Rockies. Like the chefs on the thing, he said they like it when they go through the Rockies because the train moves a little slower.
Nice.
Well, when they get out to the prairies, they're on straight track and they fly. So the guy says,
train's a Rocky Mountaineer.
Yeah, he says try cutting a carrot when you're flying down the straight.
Yeah.
Lucky you didn't cut your fingers off.
Well, they had all these bars that were put on around the stove and stuff, and the pots and pans were held in place. They put them on the burner. They're held in place, but still. That reminds.
I had a flight back from Dallas, and that was the worst flight I ever had for turbulence. And I was in the bathroom and almost got ejected out the bathroom door. It was slamming me around in there. I don't know what they were hitting, but it was pretty bad.
Hey, I got the joke of the day. You want to hear the joke of the day, guys?
What be
Go
that?
for it.
Yeah, guys, a pirate walks into the bar, and the bartender says, "I haven't seen you in a while. You look terrible." He goes, "Well, I've been around," the pirate says. He says, "What happened to your leg?" The bartender says. He says, "Well, we were in a battle, and they shot a cannon, and it blew my leg off. But I got this wooden leg, and it's been working pretty good." He says, "Yeah." He says, "But what about your hand? What's with the hook?" He says, "Well, I got into a sword fight with somebody, and he chopped my hand off, and I got this hook now. But it's all right. It's working." He says, "And what happened with the eye patch?" He says, "How'd you get that?" He says, "Well, we were out to sea one day, and I looked up, and a seagull, he pooped in my eye." And the bartender said, "A seagull pooped in your eye?" And he goes, "Yeah, he pooped in my eye." He says, "Well, how did you lose your eye? It got infected?" He goes, No, not at all." He says, "I was just getting used to the hook."
That's a rather long dad joke.
Well, you had to be there, I guess.
It's called delivery.
It's delivery.
And Bill knows how to deliver.
That's about like the one about Captain Hook not remembering which hand to wipe with.
Ooh. Ouch.
We're still live?
Yeah, we are.
No.
Some guys, something that we never really ever much discuss on here, but it's I find a lot of good inspirational stuff for modeling on Instagram and Pinterest.
Yeah.
Pinterest.
And I belong to a lot of groups on Facebook that are pretty active. The narrow gauge community on Facebook's really pretty amazing. There's a bunch of 0 and 30 groups in there that I belong to, and I really find a lot of good stuff on there. I even found a cardstock modeling group that you can use traditional cardstock modeling or modeling with your Cricut.
Yeah, the budget model railroading group's pretty active too.
Yeah, I remember that group. Yeah.
Well,
I don't think dude got this thing working yet.
Well, gentlemen, it has been a slice. I was very happy to share whatever I could during the years here. Just too bad it had to end. That's all.
Yeah.
Well, appreciate everything you did, Ralph.
Yeah, Ralph, it's great having you on here, man.
I'm sorry myself. My life's just gotten in the way, and we've gotten down to one vehicle again. Both of ours are actually out right now, and we're borrowing a vehicle. So we got to leave extra early in the morning to get everybody where they got to go. So it's usually bed by 9.
Wow. Yeah.
Wow.
Know that trick.
I hear you guys. Be well. Thank you very much for everything.
And the wife. Yep.
Ralph, you take care. All right.
I'm going to try very hard. Take care.
All right.
good.
See you
All right,
later.
Ralph. Have a good one.
Oh,
We're like down to the core here, man.
Yep.
this is it.
Yeah, kind of like the old days, huh, Mike?
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
If you can't hang, you fall.
Uh huh. Yeah.
Do we want?
Here comes somebody.
Do we want to go to Discord now, or are you going to do 2 hours on it? That's what this red live thing is, isn't it?
We're almost at 2 hours. Yeah.
We've been on for an hour and almost 57 minutes now.
Yeah.
Might be able to get some. I don't know how many people are watching, but maybe they could join Discord with us. If there's
I'll
any
post
more
the
out
link a few times during the show, so they can go by, because it only takes about a minute. YouTube will have it posted. They could go in and look for the link.
Yeah, we ought to. Well, you know, you guys do whatever you want to do. You know me, I'm trying to push buttons and stuff.
Yeah, Mike. Don't worry about it.
Hmm?
Don't worry. You're Mike. You're no longer in charge.
I know.
Yeah. Know your place, son. Know your place.
Looks like there's 15 people over in the chat right now.
Over in
No,
Discord.
that's live. That's live.
Now in
Bill.
the live chat.
Oh,
Now, I don't count the chat. I've tried counting them before, and it doesn't add up.
Yeah.
That's just people watching live.
So let's head over to Discord.
yeah, I say so. I say so.
Well,
Yeah,
gentlemen,
I
I
get-
think I'm going to have to beg off because I got to head for an hour's drive tomorrow morning, and
All right, Barry. Well, thank you
back
very
over to
much.
go over to Philly to pick the little one up from ballet school. Stuff to do after work for the other child.
Oh, there is my man Cloverdale Royale.
Oh
Well,
wow!
hey, Barry, I don't know if you're sticking around or not, but I just definitely wanted to tell you thank you. You know,
Thank
you
you,
and Bill. You and Bill, absolutely. I'm telling you, man, when we first started all this stuff, you guys were it. Remember, we used to hang out on chat
Yeah.
or video chat,
Hang
Yeah,
out.
Google Hangouts, yeah, and
Yeah,
then Hangouts
yeah.
on air.
and you guys had come like all the time. You know, you and Bill both. You know, when we started
Yeah.
that stuff up. So,
That's because we didn't know any better.
yeah.
Well, plus, I mean, all summer long, my ex-wife used to work till like 10, 11 o'clock at night running her business.
Uh-huh.
So I was sitting home at the house, nobody but me. So, gave me a good. I built my whole American Flyer layout that way.
Well, it projected you into all kinds of new stuff too. This stuff.
Oh
didn't
yeah,
it? So it puts
Yeah,
you
I
out
mean-
there. You're doing all kinds of stuff now.
yeah. I haven't done any videos in a while, but I mean, I've built 2 out of 3 buildings from my pizza box layout, and they're all cardstock modeling. Did a lot of
Well,
customization,
there he is.
lighting.
All right, let's
Dude.
go. It looks like it's time to go now.
How you doing,
Yeah,
dude?
Dude,
What's he doing? Is he picking his nose?
I don't know, but his hand froze, so his camera froze up or something.
Yeah. Can you hear us, dude?
Cloverdale, what's up? I'm not that wiser.
That was
Thank
hand
you,
movement.
Steve. 87 PSAP. Well, it was fun while it lasted. See you all.
Yes, it was.
Yes, sir. Be well. John Banachek, have been a pleasure watching. Thank you all for what you have done. Thanks for coming. See you on the radio, bro. Like I said, I'm putting it out there. Anybody who wants to hire me, I'm available.
Hopefully you guys can hear me.
That's dude. He's
I
watching
thought I
TV.
heard dude, but he's like,
Can you guys hear me?
that's
we
better.
can.
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yep. Can you hear us? I can't
Apparently not.
we can hear your TV. He's doing that on purpose.
I know.
Nah, he's never really had that good connection at his house there.
Cloverdale, thank you for being a part of the show as well.
Yes.
All right, Barry, were you able to send me a link to Discord or anybody? Hey, Bill, you have my email address. Please send me the link.
I don't have the link to Discord.
There's
Andy?
not a. Is it not just a? It's the same link every time or not?
Yeah,
it
it's the same
should
link. It sends you an invite to it basically, and then you join in our Discord with whatever account.
Yeah, I don't have an email.
I was gonna say somebody was posting it in the chat. If you can scroll up through the chat.
Oh,
Yeah, I posted it a couple of times.
did
Go
you?
in the private chat, Johnny?
No,
Oh, the public chat. Okay.
yeah, the regular chat. Well, here, let me see if I can still get to. Yeah, Mike, just in the private chat. I just put it in the private chat.
All right, let me see if that opens.
Oh, okay.
Can you hear us now, dude? No.
Marcel, Marcel, welcome. Thank you very much for all you've done and for being a part of this as well.
Well, gentlemen, I'm gonna head on off to wherever my head's gonna hit the pillow.
All right, Barry. Take care.
Yeah, it's good to see you, Barry.
All right,
You
Barry.
guys too.
Good seeing you.
Barry.
All right, we'll catch you around soon. All right.
Yeah, have a good one, Barry.
All right, take care. Bye.
Like I said to the guys out there watching, I'm desperately looking for work. So now that I've been canned out of Model Railroading Live and unceremoniously shown the door, if anybody wants somebody to moderate or do voiceovers for them, please let me know. I'm available. And if anybody needs a good producer, director, John Mitchell's your guy.
Yeah, I'm trying to get back into my Discord. I ain't been in long enough to kick me out.
Yes, Marcel, I will definitely give you a call later. I have to call you in the evening because you work on the West Coast, and I always call you. He works on street lights, Marcel, and whenever I call him, he's always in the middle of hanging a street light in the middle of an intersection. He's like, Bill, I can't talk to you right now. I'm like, so I definitely will, Marcel. Don't worry. Is this a good time to call you about this? It's 11 o'clock my time. It's what? 7 o'clock your time? The West Coast?
Probably
8. So it's good. And we're still recording. So for those guys out there that are listening, I want to thank you very much for being a part of this show, being part of it every time we come on, and keeping a low profile out there, and contributing to the Q&A. Greatly appreciated. So you guys take care, be well, be safe, and be blessed. And like I said, I'll see you on the radio.
We'll see you around, Bill.
I'm going to try and get on Discord.
Okay. Mike, see you later.
Oh, you ain't coming to Discord?
I'm going to bed, brother, because I got to get up.
Oh, lightweight.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, real lightweight.
That's because I'm old, man. You see, you remember when I was a kid, I used to go to the park and play on the monkey bars?
Don't remember that.
Yeah, well, when I used to, now when you go into my shower, that's all I have is monkey bars on the wall now to keep me from falling. So, I'm out of here, guys. Thank you again,
All right.
John. Be well, be safe. I'll talk to you soon on the phone.
Take care, Bill.
Robert,
See
be
you later.
well.
Good night, Bill.
Okay, what's the name of the Discord channel? I'm going to search for it because I have a Discord already.
Model
Railroading Live.
Oh, that's too easy.
Johnny, are we still live?
Yeah.
Jeez Louise.
Yeah, I think you'll probably be good. Go ahead and shut it down.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
When the host of the show bails out because he's a lightweight, you know.
Yeah, he is a lightweight. That's funny.
All right. Well, I'm just going to leave everybody up and shut it down. Just say, hey, thank you to everybody. Thank everybody in the chat. And like Bill said, we'll see you on the radio. Everyone have a good night.
If you're
All right,
still
thanks,
here,
guys.
read through the chats later on. The links for Discord will be in the chats and the live in the replays.